Dear students, today we are going to discuss sample question paper Mathematics Standard Class 10, which was shared by CBSE at its site. As you all are aware that in the question paper there will be total 50 questions, out of which you have to attempt any 40 questions. So you have to attempt 40 out of 50. It comprises three sections, section A, B, C, where each question is of 1 mark. You are supposed to attempt 16 from section A, 16 from section B, and any 8 from section C. So let's start discussing the question paper and the answers. So the first question is the ratio of LCM and HCF of least composite and least prime numbers is. So first of all, let us take least composite number. As we all know, it is 4 and least prime number is 2. So the ratio of LCM and HCF. So let us find LCM and HCF of these two numbers. LCM of 4 and 2 is 4. HCF is 2. That is highest common factor. So if you find ratio of LCM to HCF, if you solve it, it will be 2:1. So the correct answer is 2:1, option B. Next question. Value of K for which the lines this and this coincide. Now the meaning of word coincide means that coincide means the lines are overlapping. They are coming one above other. So it is a case of lines which are having infinitely many solutions. So you all know that infinitely many solutions are possible if and only if we have a condition that A1 upon A2 equals to B1 upon B2 equals to C1 upon C2. So let us use this concept. So for these two equations we have 5 upon 15 same as 7 upon 21 equals to 3 upon K. So using this we can find value of K. Solving it, we will find that 7 and 21 will cancel and we will get K value as 9 by cross multiplication. So we have got the answer for this question. K is 9. Next, a girl walks 200 meter towards east and then 150 meter towards north. She is going towards east 200 meter and 150 meter towards north. So we have to find distance of girl from starting point. It means we are supposed to find this distance. So it is a case of right angle triangle. You can see that between these two directions, east and north, there will be right angle. So we can use Pythagoras theorem to find the length of hypotenuse, which will be the distance of girl from the starting point. So initially we can take it as x. So using Pythagoras theorem, we will find x square equals to 200 square plus 150 square. Solving it, 200 square will be 40,000 plus 150 square will be 22,500. Adding them, we will get 62500, and on solving square root, we will get 250. So 250 is the square root of this, and this is the distance of girl from the starting point. So I am just discussing the solution. You can solve it properly yourself. So you can see that after solving it, we are getting 250 meter as the distance of girl from the starting point. Next question, length of diagonals of a rhombus. Now we have a rhombus here. Let us draw a rhombus. We know that there are two diagonals in a rhombus and the length of diagonals they have given to us as 24 and 32. As you know that diagonals of rhombus, when we have a rhombus, its diagonals, they bisect each other at right angle. So let us take one of the triangle. If I just assume this triangle, this angle will be right angle. And I am going to draw it separately here. So we know the length of diagonals is 24 and 32. So this is half of the length, so it will be 12, and this can be taken as 16. That is half the length of diagonals. So solving this, we can use Pythagoras theorem and we can find this hypotenuse. So let us first find the hypotenuse. So we can take it x. So we know x square equals to 16 square plus 12 square. That will be 256 plus 144. It will be 400. So x will come out to be 20. So solving this, we are getting the side of rhombus as 20. So we know that all the four sides of rhombus are equal. So each side can be taken as 20. Now I am erasing this part. So its base is also 20. Now what are we supposed to find? We want to find the length of altitude, or we can say height. Now this is the rhombus, so we can have its height like this. Here it can be its height. Height is always drawn on the base. Now we want to find length of this height. Now we know to find area of rhombus, we have formula half into product of diagonals. Also we know we can also find its area by using formula base into height. So we will use this concept to find the altitude. Now diagonals length we are already knowing, it's 24 and 32. And base we have just found that the side of rhombus is 20 into height. So on solving all this, we can find the value of height. You can just solve it, and after solving you will find after all this calculation are over, you can try yourself. Height will come out to be 19.2. So I have explained you the technique to solve. So rest of the calculation I assume you all can do yourself. So you will be getting the height of this rhombus, altitude of rhombus is 19.2 centimeter, option D. Let's move to the next question now. Next question is, two fair coins are tossed. Now this is a question from probability. Two coins are tossed. What is the probability of getting at most one head? Now we need to understand meaning of this term. At most one head means maximum we can have one head. We shouldn't have more than one head. We can have one head, or we can even have no head. So at most means maximum, ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा we can have only one head. So we can have zero head also, or we can have one head also, but we shouldn't have more than one head. Now, when we toss two coins, now what are the outcomes? What do we get? We may get two heads, or one head, one tail, first tail, then head, or both the tails. Now we want to find out the cases where we have at most one head. Now this is a case of one head, this is one head. We will also take this, because it doesn't have any head. We shouldn't have more than one head. So there are three cases when we have more at most one head, and total cases are 4. So probability will be 3/4, option A. Now let us move to the next question. Triangle ABC is similar to triangle PQR. Let us draw two triangles, ABC, and another triangle we have PQR. Both are similar. If AM and PN are altitudes, now let us draw altitude of this triangle AM, and its altitude is PN. And AB square ratio PQ square is 4:9. We have to find AM ratio PN. Now we know that when the two triangles are similar, then their corresponding sides are proportional. Now whatever will be the ratio of AB ratio PQ, same will be the ratio of even its altitudes are also in ratio, in proportion. So AB upon PQ will be same as AM upon PN. Now AB upon PQ we don't know, we know AB square upon PQ square. So if we are doing square this side, so we can do square here also. So we know AB square upon PQ square is 4:9. So am square upon pn square will be also 4:9. And if we want to find am upon pn, we can take square root on both the sides and it will be 2:3. So correct answer is option D. So I hope this question is clear to you. So it is based on similarity topic from chapter triangles. So correct answer is option D. Now next question. If 2 sine square beta minus cos square beta is 2, then beta is. So like theta, they have used here term beta. Now let us first simplify this equation. 2 sine square beta minus cos square beta. Now we know that sine square beta plus cos square beta is 1. Now how can we write cos square beta? We can take sine square beta to the other side. So cos square beta will be 1 minus sine square beta. So I am replacing here cos square beta with 1 minus sine square beta equals to 2. Now I have written it in brackets so that there is no confusion about the signs. So let us simplify this now. So we'll get 2 sine square beta minus 1 minus minus plus sine square beta equals to 2. Now this 1 can be taken to the right side. So we will be getting 2 sine square beta plus sine square beta will be 3 sine square beta equals to 2. This minus 1 will go other side and will get added. So we'll get 2 plus 1. 2 plus 1 will be 3. So 3 will cancel. We'll get sine square beta equals to 1. And we know sine angle is 1 if and only if this angle is 90 degree, because you have learnt in trigonometric ratio tables that sine 90 degree is 1. So this will be 1 if beta is 90 degree. So correct option is option B. This angle must be 90 degree, then only we will be having this equation justified. Right? So we have to start with this equation and we need to solve it and find out the value of angle. Now let's move to the next question. Question 8. It says prime factors of denominator of a rational number with decimal expansion this are. Now it's a simple mental ability based question. You don't have to solve anything in this. We know that if we look at this number, it has terminating decimal expansion. It doesn't have any repeating decimal. It's a terminating decimal expansion. And we know from our understanding, from our learning, that any number which has terminating decimal expansion, when we write it in rational form, its denominator will have prime factors of 2 or 5. So we have to tell that what are the prime factors of denominator of this rational number. So obviously it's going to have 2 and 5. So the correct answer for this will be 2, 5. Its decimal expansion must have, its decimal expansion is terminating. So its denominator must have only prime factors including 2 and 5. You have studied that 2 power m or 5 power n, like that. We shouldn't have any other number. Now next question. The lines x equals to a, y equals to b are. Now you see that we can draw a graph here and then we can find. First equation is x equals to a. Now x equals to a means for any value of y, x is always going to be a. We don't know what is value of x, but we have to take x equals to a. It can be, instead of a, it can be x equals to 3 also. If a's value is 3, we don't know what is it, but for some time we can assume this is point A. So if I have to draw a graph for x equals to a, it's going to be a straight line like this, passing from A. Then y equals to b. Now suppose here is some b, then for y equals to b, we will be having a graph like this, straight line parallel to x-axis. Now these two lines, we can see that both the lines, this and this, they are intersecting each other at some point. So they are meeting each other at this point. So they will definitely meet at some point. For this case, I have shown them meeting here. So we need to tell what kind of lines are these. So answer will be option A, intersecting lines. So we can just assume some value and we can just draw a graph, and we can say that what type of graph we will be getting and what type of lines it will be. So we can see here. So correct answer is option A. Now next question, distance of point A from origin. Now again graph based question, so we need to draw a graph and find out. Let us first of all draw this point A. Its coordinates are -5, 6. So -5 we can take somewhere here. I am just drawing a rough sketch, and 6 we can take somewhere here. So this point is going to be somewhere here. So this will be our point A, location on the graph. Now we need to find distance of this point from origin. This is origin. Let us join. Now this distance we want to find, and we know this height is 6 as we have marked here 6. So this is going to be 6, and this distance will be 5 because it's -5 here. So we can use Pythagoras theorem again and we can find hypotenuse. So you can try yourself. You can just see, we can take it as x. So x square will be 6 square plus 5 square. That will be 36 plus 25, 61. So x will be √61. Alright, so this is option D is the correct option. Now let's continue from question number 11. If a square is 23 by 25, then a is. Now let us see what type of number is a. If a square is 23 upon 25, what will be a? We know that a we can find by taking square root of this. Now square root of 23 will be √23 and square root of 25 will be 5. Now we know that √23 is an irrational number, and we have 5 in the denominator, but it will still remain irrational. So a will be irrational number. Option B is the correct answer. Next, question number 12. If LCM of x and 18 is 36 and HCF is 2, then x is. So we have to find x. We know this formula, LCM into HCF equals to product of two numbers. Now we know LCM is 36, HCF is 2. Let us put values, and the numbers are x and 18. So we'll multiply x into 18 and we can cancel 18 with 36. So solving this, we will get x value as 4. So option C is the correct answer. Next we'll do question number 13. In triangle ABC, right angled at B. So let us have a triangle ABC which is right angled at B. This angle will be B. If tan A is √3, then we have to find value of cos A, cos C minus sin A, sin C. Now we know from trigonometric ratios table that tan A is √3 when angle A is 60 degree. This we should remember from there. Now tan A is √3, so angle A is 60 degree. Angle B is 90 degree. Using angle sum property, we can find angle C will be 30 degree. Now we will find values of this. First we have cos A. Cos A means cos 60 degree. Then cos C means cos 30 degree. Minus sin A means sin 60 degree. Then sin C means sin 30 degree. Now we can put values of these trigonometric ratios using trigonometric table. We know cos 60 is half, cos 30 is √3 by 2. These values you have to remember, or you may draw the table also. Sin 60 is √3 by 2. and sine 30 is half. Now if we solve it, we get root 3 by 4 minus root 3 by 4 and answer will be 0. So we can solve it like this, and correct option is option A. Sorry, it's question number 13. So option B is the correct answer. Right? Now let's move to the next question. Question number 14. If angles of triangle ABC are in ratio 1:1:2. Now we have a triangle whose angles are given in ratio. So first purpose is to find the angles. Now if angles are in ratio 1:1:2, we can take angles as 1x, 1x, 2x. And using angle sum property, we know that if the sum of all three angles will be 180 degree. So 1x plus 1x plus 2x will be equals to 180 degree. This will be 4x equals to 180 degree, or x will be 45 degree. So solving this, we've got x value as 45 degree. So we can find the three angles. If x is 45 degrees, so first angle will be 45, 1x means 45 degrees, second angle will be also 45, and the third one will be 2x, means 2 into 45, 90. Now let us draw the diagram. We have a triangle ABC, and they have mentioned in the question that the largest angle is C. It means this 90 degree angle is the value of angle C. So we can take C here, and we can take A and B anywhere. Both are 45 degree. Now we have to find value of this. So let us put values in this. First we have secant A. Secant A means secant 45 degree upon cosecant B, again cosecant 45 degree, minus tan A, tan 45 degree upon cot B, cot 45 degree, because both angle A and B are 45 degrees. Now let us find out their values from the table. We know, you can see the values or you can just remember. Secant 45 degree is root 2. Similarly, cosecant 45 degree is also root 2. Tan 45 degree is 1. Similarly, cot 45 degree is also 1. On cancelling this, we get 1. So we are getting 1 minus 1. Our answer is 0. So after solving this, again we are getting answer 0 in this question also. So this is how you have to solve. So we can mark the correct option, option A, for 14th sum. Next we have 15th sum. Number of revolutions made by a circular wheel. We have a circular wheel of radius 0.7 meter. It is rolling. It is moving like this. When it is rolling on the road, this portion, its circumference is touching the road. When it is moving, moving ahead, its circumference is touching the road. We have to find that how many revolutions this wheel will make in rolling a distance of 176 meters. So there is a formula to find number of revolutions made by wheel. So you can remember that formula and use it. So to find number of revolutions, we have a formula: distance, total distance travelled upon circumference of wheel. Now distance travelled is given to us 176 meter, and circumference of wheel is in shape of circle, so we will use formula 2 pi r. We can put value of pi 22/7 and radius is 0.7. 0.7 can also be written as 7 upon 10. 10 will go up. Now on simplifying this, you can simplify it. 7 will cancel. 22 and 176 will cancel at 8. And then 2 and 8 can cancel. So we are left with 4 into 10. So our answer will be 40. So the wheel will make 40 revolutions. Let us find which is the correct option. Option D is the correct option. Option D. Next question. A triangle ABC is such that AB is 3 centimeter. Let us draw the triangle ABC such that AB is 3 centimeter, BC is 2 centimeter, CA is 2.5. Another triangle we have, triangle DEF. DEF, let's write their names in order. And EF is 4 centimeter. Then perimeter of triangle DEF. We need to find perimeter of this red triangle. To find its perimeter, first of all, we should know all its sides. We are given one thing in the question, that the two triangles are similar. If the two triangles are similar, we know that their corresponding sides are proportional. It means the ratio of this and this side and this side will be same. So let us use this concept to find the unknown sides. So we can say AB, this side AB upon, we will take DE from this triangle, AB upon DE equals to BC upon EF. Or simply we can see that what is the relation between these two sides. Now this is 2, this is 4. So it means side of this triangle is double the side of first triangle. So we can just do twice of the sides. So if side AB is 3, this side will be 6, double. This is 2, this is 4. This is 2.5, so it will be 5. Now we know all the three sides of this triangle. So adding them, we can find the perimeter. So 6 plus 5, 11 plus 4, 15. So the perimeter of this triangle will be 15 centimeter. So let us see which is the correct option. Option B is correct option. That is 15 centimeter. Now next question. Question number 17. In figure, if DE is parallel to BC, AD is 3 centimeter, BD is 4 centimeter, BC is 14, then DE, we have to find length of this side DE. Now we can see that in this figure, actually there are two triangles. One is this small triangle ADE and another triangle is the bigger one ABC. Now let us see, is there anything similar in these two triangles? Yes, we have angle A, common angle. These two sides are parallel. So these two angles are going to be corresponding angles. So they will be equal. Similarly, these two angles will be equal. So we can say angle D equals to angle B, corresponding angles. Similarly, angle E equals to angle C, corresponding angle. All the three angles are equal. So if two angles are equal, then also we can use by AA similarity, we can say that the two triangles are similar. Since two triangles are similar, so their corresponding sides are proportional. Now let us write the proportionality of their sides. So if we write their sides proportional, what can we write? Its side AD is 3. Total side length of side AB will be 3 plus 4, that is 7. DE we don't know and BC is 14. So let us write the proportionality. 3 upon 7 will be same as DE upon BC. BC is 14. Now we can take 14 this side. On solving this, we can find the length of DE. It will be 6 centimeters. So option B will be correct option. Next, question number 18. If 4 tan beta is 3, then we have to find value of this. Now how can we do it? First of all, we will take this 4 down. So we will be getting tan beta equals to 3 by 4. Alright. Now we have to concentrate at this. We know tan beta value, but in this expression we don't have tan, we have sine and cos. So let us change these into tan form. So what we will be doing, we want to change this sine into tan. We know tan is equals to sine upon cos. If we divide sine by cos, we will get tan. So what we are supposed to do, we have to divide both numerator and denominator by cos beta. So we'll divide by cos beta. So what we will get in numerator, we'll get 4 sin beta upon cos beta. minus 3 cos beta upon cos beta. Similarly, in denominator we will get 4 sin beta upon cos beta plus 3 cos beta upon cos beta. Now what can we see? Here cos beta will cancel, and here sin beta upon cos beta will become tan beta. Here also it will become tan beta. So what we will be left with? We will be left with 4 tan beta minus 3 upon 4 tan beta plus 3. Now we know tan beta value is 3 by 4. So we will put value in this. Now this thing I am erasing as there is no space to write. So we can put value of tan beta in this expression now. From here we know tan beta is 3 by 4. So we will put its value 3 by 4 minus 3 upon 4 into 3 by 4 plus 3. Now 4 will cancel. So in numerator we have 3 minus 3 0 upon 3 plus 3 6. So answer will be 0. So in this also we are getting answer 0. That is option A is correct option. Next question. One equation of a pair of dependent linear equation is this. The second equation is. Now one of the equation is given to us. We have to find the second equation which is a pair of dependent linear equation. Now first of all you should know what is dependent linear equation. Another linear equation which I can make from this linear equation will be dependent on it. So how can we make? Now let us look at the options. We see here we are finding 10x, 14y. So looking at the options we can see that we have to multiply this with some number so that we can get any of these equations. Now if we multiply this equation which is given to us with 2, then what do we get? If I multiply both sides with 2, I will get minus 10x plus 14y equals to 4. Now let us try, can we find this type of equation in any of the options? So if we see option A, no, all the terms are positive. Option B, here negative sign has come, so we will reject this also. Option C, these two terms are okay, but here we have plus 4 on the left side, but we should have it on the right side. So this is also incorrect. Then if we look at option D, here what we see that we have all the terms with opposite sign. Now if I take minus sign common from this, then what I will be left with? 10x minus 14y, and this minus sign will go on the right side. So this minus sign will go here and I will be getting 10x minus 14y equals to minus 4. That is option D. So we can make option D from the given equation. So this will be the another dependent linear equation. So you have to think that which equation you can frame from the given equation by multiplying it with some number. So if you multiply the given equation with minus 2, you will get the fourth option, which is our answer. Next question, question number 20. A letter of English alphabet is chosen at random. What is the probability that it is a letter of word mathematics? Now we have to choose one letter from English alphabets. Now we know there are 26 alphabets in English. We have to choose any one letter. Now what is the probability that the letter which we choose is a letter which is in this word mathematics? Now first we have to find how many letters are there in this word mathematics. So whichever letter is repeating, we should take it once only. So we are having letter M, A, T, H, E. Then again M, it's repeating, we will not write. A is also repeating, T is repeating, I, C, S. So if we count, there are total 8 letters which are in this word mathematics, and total letters in English are 26. So our answer is 8 upon 26. which can be simplified to get 4 upon 13. So our option, if we look at the options, option A is the correct option. So our answer is option A. So that's all for today. In part 1 of this video, section A questions have been explained.